Are you ready to make your voice heard in the upcoming elections? Welcome to this explainer. Knowing your voter registration status is literally the first step toward participating in democracy, and we're here to ensure absolutely nothing stands between you and your right to vote. Let's get right into it.
So I've got to ask a pretty critical question right off the bat. Are you truly ready to vote? It's super common to just assume that once you register, you're set for life. But election administration, it is way more dynamic than that. People move, names change, bureaucratic updates happen all the time. Double-checking your status ensures you won't hit any roadblocks when you actually walk up to that ballot box.
To get you fully prepared today, we're going to follow this quick roadmap. First, the stakes. Then, the digital key. Next, updating details. After that, offline alternatives. And finally, crucial deadlines.
All right, part one, the stakes. So why is checking your status ahead of time an absolute necessity in Oklahoma? Well, it boils down to this. Oklahoma does not allow same-day voter registration, period. If you show up to the polls and your registration is inactive, outdated, or just missing entirely, you can't just fill out a quick form and vote normally on the spot. If you aren't properly registered in advance, you risk being turned away, or, at best, having to cast a provisional ballot that might not even get counted. Being proactive is basically your only real safeguard here.
And here is something that trips a lot of people up. The state actively conducts what's called routine list maintenance. By law, the state election board cleans up the voter rolls every 2 years. That means you could actually be removed for totally administrative reasons without even realizing it, like if election mail gets returned as undeliverable, or if you didn't return an address confirmation notice, or even if you just haven't voted in the last 2 general elections. Your status can get flagged as inactive and eventually canceled. Checking in regularly keeps you from getting accidentally swept up in that maintenance.
Moving on to Section 2, the digital key.
So how do we actually check this? Well, the state's official OK Voter portal is your best friend here. It's your digital key. But there is a catch. When you go to log in, you have to enter your first name, last name, and date of birth exactly as they were originally recorded. The system uses a really strict text matching algorithm, so if you used a hyphen, a special character, or a unique spelling on your original application, you absolutely have to use it here to get in.
Once you're in, you'll see the portal is a total game changer. It's not just for verifying your active status, you can use it as a complete hub for your voting experience. We're talking changing your political party, finding your exact polling place, viewing a sample ballot for your specific precinct so you know exactly what you're voting on beforehand, and you can even request absentee ballots if you want to vote by mail. It is an incredibly handy tool.
Okay, Section 3, updating details.
So what happens if you log in and realize your address is wrong? This is a huge distinction you need to know. If you moved within the exact same county, you are golden. You can just update it right there online in the OK Voter portal. But if you move to a new county, let's say from Oklahoma County over to Tulsa County, that digital quick fix will not work. State law requires you to submit a brand new physical voter registration application to your new county election board. You essentially have to start fresh.
The exact same rule applies if you've legally changed your name, maybe because of a marriage or divorce. You can't just type in your new name online and hit save. Just like moving across county lines, changing your name requires brand new paperwork. You have to submit a new application so those state text matching algorithms can correctly identify the new you.
That brings us to Section 4, offline alternatives.
Now, what if the website is acting up, or you just prefer talking to a real human being? You've got options. Under the Oklahoma Open Records Act, voter registration lists are public records. So you can simply call, email, or visit your local county election board to have them check your status. This is actually a lifesaver if you have an older legacy registration. Sometimes those old records are missing a date of birth in the digital system, which completely blocks you from logging into the portal. A quick phone call clears that right up.
And hey, if you do need to fill out a new paper application, like we talked about for name changes or moving counties, you don't even need a printer. Physical forms are everywhere in your community. You can grab one at county election boards, tag agencies, public libraries, or even post offices. Just fill it out in blue or black ink and either drop it in the mail or hand deliver it.
All right, on to Section 5, crucial deadlines.
When it comes to voting in Oklahoma, timing is literally everything. I want you to burn this number into your memory right now. 25. 25 days. That is the statutory deadline that dictates the whole process.
Here's how it works. By law, your voter registration application has to be received or postmarked at least 25 days before an election for you to actually vote in it. If you miss that 25-day cutoff, they don't throw your application away, but it basically goes into a blackout period. It's going to sit in pending status until after the election is completely over and certified. So getting your updates in way before that window is absolutely crucial.
Okay, so you met the deadline, your registration is active, you are almost ready. But Oklahoma requires proof of identity at the polls. When you show up, you need an approved ID. That means an unexpired Oklahoma driver's license, a state ID card, a U.S. passport, military ID, or a federally recognized tribal government ID. And remember, the name on the ID has to match the registry, it needs a photo, and it obviously can't be expired.
But what if you don't have one of those traditional photo IDs? Well, there's a fantastic, highly accessible backup, the official voter identification card. When your registration gets approved, the county automatically mails you this paper card. And legally, this free, state-issued card is your golden ticket. Even though it doesn't have a photo or an expiration date, it perfectly qualifies as valid non-photo ID for voting. If you don't have a driver's license, this card alone will get you to the ballot box.
Since that little paper card is so powerful, you definitely want to keep it safe. But if you do happen to lose it, or you notice a typo in your address, don't panic. Getting a replacement is super easy. Just log back into the OK Voter portal, click a button to request a new one, or just call your county election board and they'll mail it right out to you.
At the end of the day, participating in our democracy just requires a tiny bit of administrative upkeep. Taking a few minutes right now to confirm you're active and that your details are spot on is how you empower yourself. It transforms you from someone just hoping to vote into a fully prepared citizen whose voice simply cannot be sidelined on Election Day.
Thanks so much for watching this explainer. Keep in mind, election rules and websites can change, so always double-check official state resources like oklahoma.gov/elections for the most current guidance. Now seriously, take action. Go verify your status right now. Because if you aren't prepared to step up and vote, who's going to speak for you?